like, yo, like, my nigga, like, regardless if you liked him or not, if you didn't know him personally or he didn't do anything to you personally, like he didn't kill somebody that you knew or whatever, you should not be celebrating or happy about that man dying, you know, before his time.
Good luck.
What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. You know, I didn't think that, or no, let me not even say that. I wasn't gonna say that I didn't think this day would come, but you know what I am gonna say is, I'm just gonna speak on, you know, how I came to know about Kevin Samuels, what I thought of his ideals and his relationship advice and his beliefs, so on and so forth. I'm gonna give my thoughts on his death and my response to women and men who are pretty much celebrating and happy about the fact that he passed away. And I'm gonna try to be, you know, I'm gonna try to give my, you know, most objective perspective as possible. But without saying too much more, let's get into it. Alright, so first and foremost, now I wasn't always I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Samuels, and honestly, I think I came to know of him. Wow, really? And honestly, I came to know of him, and I think about either very late 2019 or, you know, at some point in 2020 when, you know, the red pill community kind of started to, you know, gain traction and kind of get my attention. You know, when guys like, you know, Stephen Cole, obviously, Alpha Male Strategies, you know, Anthony Spade, you know, guys like that came into prominence. Kevin Samuels was kind of really like the biggest one out of all of them for the most part. You know, he was the one that was, you know, getting our world star, you know, having, you know, celebrity interviews with like Nicki Minaj. I guess, I've never seen it, but he had, I guess like he appeared in a Future music video. So, you know, and I would kind of chime in and look at his Instagram every now and then. I would probably watch some of his YouTube videos and things like that. And personally, me, I never had an issue with, you know, what the things that he would say, because honestly, we need men like Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times, you know, in the quote-unquote black community, you know, men like Kevin Samuels generally are the ones that are the most hated. And we rarely ever had, you know, a black leader, like a real black leader that was for us, that was liked by, you know, mainstream media or was accepted by the general public. And what I mean by that is, you know, look at Malcolm X. Malcolm X was not somebody who was, you know, liked by the media, nor was he somebody that was accepted by like the masses. You know, it was black people, like a certain type of black person that accepted him, but he wasn't as widely received as, let's say, like a Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks. Why? Because he was actually for his people. You know, he was actually for the improvement of his people and shit like that. You know, a lot of times when you look at his videos, you know, and mostly these are women that are coming on the platform to get advice and ask questions. Like I can count on one hand how many times I've actually seen him speak to, you know, a man on his platform. You know what I'm saying? Because it was for us, but yet it was women who, for the most part, was seeking his counsel and shit like that. Now, in my opinion, you know, women only dislike Kevin Samuels because he was a guy that was telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know, Kevin Samuels was not, you know, a guy that, you know, was gonna sugarcoat it. The reason why people don't like Kevin Samuels is because he would tell the truth and he would hold everybody accountable. Like, you know, I've been seeing things on Twitter where people are like, oh, he would criticize, you know, being broke, or, you know, women, black women being fat. It's like, first of all, Kevin Samuels was never attacking, you know, black women. He was telling black women, okay, if you're gonna have those sorts of high standards that you're gonna have, you need to improve yourself. You need to improve yourself. You can't just be sitting there, saying, oh yeah, I want a millionaire, and then you looking like, you know what I'm saying? You looking like, you look wild, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not that he was saying certain things to try to tear down black women. No, he was saying things to give black women and men, a reality check into themselves. It's not that he's like, oh yeah, you're hideous and you're ugly. He's like, yo, well, if you want a certain type of man, take a good look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself, do you really qualify for that type of man that you're talking about? I've even had, guests on my podcast where they said that, a man that makes like $500,000 a year is not enough. Or a man who makes six figures is not enough. And a guy like Kevin Samuels would be like, yo, who raised you? Like, all right, so how much did your parents make? What did your parents do for a living? And then a lot of these girls will say, oh, my parents were teachers, or they were, like regular middle class working, or lower middle class working people. And then he's like, okay, so if that's the background that you come from, then why do you have these extravagant, desires and requirements as far as, a man that wants to be with you? Like, where does that come from when that's not where you came from? So it's like, I never really understood, the hate and the vitriol that Kevin Samuels would, get. Because, like I said, a lot of times, in life, the truth don't always sound pretty, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, whether people want to, see it or not, it was for their own benefit at the end of the day. It's like, I can give you the information, but, you can, do with it what you will. And I've always respected him for that, because he never allowed, these women to come on there, disrespect him, talk out of turn, get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And then that just goes to show that if you're a man that knows your value, it's like people are not going to like that. Because even me, in my experience, it's like, yo, when you're dealing with girls, they want you, they don't want you to be confident. They want you to be humble. Like, it doesn't make a woman feel good for her to see you, confident. And it's like, I've had a girl tell me that before. I remember, like, I was riding high. I don't know what I was talking to her about, but basically, I was just displaying, belief within myself. And then shorty was like, oh, well, sometimes it's good to be humble. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, you're just trying to, bring me down to like your level or some shit. Like, it's like a woman, will take a man that's not in shape over a man that's in shape. Why? Because a woman is not gonna want, a man that physically looks good, because then that means she's gonna have more competition, because other women are gonna notice him. It doesn't make a woman feel good to be in the presence of a strong black man. And that's exactly why, Kevin Samuels ruffled a lot of feathers, and he made a lot of women, and people just in general feel uncomfortable. Because people don't like, like a real strong black person, you know what I'm saying? And when I found out that, Kevin Samuels passed away, it was hard for me to process, because, and I don't know if it's just me, and I'm not going to, like, talk in conspiracy or, get into that realm, but it seems like it's a situation where we as black people can never have any real black, like, leaders or like prominent figures that are actually for our own benefit that we can turn to. These people always seem to just like drop like flies and die. You know what I'm saying? And I ask myself, like, why is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin Samuels was just on Instagram the day before he passed away. Like, it was all good, going live, doing what he normally does, and then all of a sudden he dies at 56, which in my opinion, that's a young age to die. Like, 56 is very young, for somebody to go out like that. And it's just like, we don't know their underlying health conditions, so it's just like they're here today, gone tomorrow, and it's like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, people die every day, but at the end of the day, it's like, I think that, Kevin Samuels is somebody that we need. Like, we need him. We need people like him. And then not everybody's going to step up and be the guy that's going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because in society now, it's like, society doesn't praise, men being men anymore. Like an outspoken black man. Society doesn't want that. It's like Malcolm X was a strong, outspoken black man. Tupac was a strong, outspoken black man, and society didn't like them. You know, and they're gone. And they're gone. Because in my opinion, you know, Kevin Samuels, you know, like I said, he wasn't somebody that I would say that I looked up to, but he was somebody that I could honestly say that like I admired and I respected, and he gives you something to aspire to. Because being broke is part of the game, but staying broke is a personal thing. So if he's talking about like, you know, guys, you know, men out here not having as much money as he might have, or what a quote unquote high value man has, but every man has the potential to be a high value man. It's like you could wake up tomorrow and then like build that foundation and build yourself up to get to that point, to be that you yourself. Because I've made videos on my channel and I talked about, you know, certain types of women that be out here, you know, and it was never the fact that I hated women. It's just like, yo, I know how women are, you know. And again, women in society don't like men that know their value and are not going to, you know, take disrespect and tolerate bullshit. Because you would see women, you know, come on Kevin Samuels' platform trying to, you know, get crazy. He's like, no, we're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Whether he got to hang up on them, he got to tell them how it is or whatever. And it's like every man has to be like that. Every man has to be like that. You wouldn't let nobody talk to him no kind of way. And it's like every man has to be like that. So me, every time I used to go and watch his videos and I would see him have to, you know, put a woman in her place, I'd be like, yes. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, we have to do that. In this society now, we have to do that. Because today, you know, and not that it's a completely bad thing, but socially, we're living in a matriarchal society. You know, because look at Will Smith. Everybody loved Will Smith, you know, the day before he slapped Chris Rock. And it's like now Will Smith is pretty much canceled. Yeah, people, you know, don't like Jada, but people canceled Will Smith. And it's like he took the brunt of that. Why? Because he was just being a man. He was just being a man defending his wife's honor. And then he got canceled for that. You know, Kevin Samuels was a guy that was saying, yo, like, checking women. Like, yo, if you say you want to be married, you say you want to have this type of man, you want to be that type of woman to him and this, that, and the third, well, you got to come correct. You got to come correct. There's certain things, there's certain personality traits that you have to personify. Like, you have to be a certain way. And then a lot of times, a lot of these women, you know what I'm saying, they're not fit. They're not fit. I said in one of my last rants from last year, I was like, yo, a woman, you know, will want to get in a relationship with you and not even know how to treat you. And then a lot of times when I would go on his videos and shit, and then I would listen to the things that these women say, and their opinions represent the macrocosm of the general female opinion on men in society right now. Because you will be surprised, like, women don't like to be generalized, but yet a lot of them feel and think the same exact way. Yeah, your personalities might be different, but your way of thinking towards men is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It rhymes. You know, because these same women that don't like Kevin Samuels and shit, they all run on the same AAA batteries that every other woman does. To find a real good woman out here is very hard. So somebody like Kevin Samuels is good for men to watch, to keep your mind right. Because the only types of niggas that don't like Kevin Samuels, I'm sorry, but y'all motherfuckers are simps. Y'all niggas are simps or pick me ass motherfuckers. You know, I don't know which one or. But simp ass motherfuckers are the ones that dislike Kevin Samuels. Because what's not to like? What's not to like? It's constructive criticism. It's like would you rather somebody, you know, lie to you, or somebody that's gonna tell you the truth? Kevin Samuels was the type of man that is just gonna shoot you straight. Like, this is what it is. You know, because in my opinion, my belief is that if you're gonna give somebody constructive criticism, you know, you dig a ditch for them to plant the seed. You don't dig a ditch to throw them in there and try to bury them. You know, women, they took it like he was trying to throw them in the ditch and bury them. No, it's not that. He's telling you these things, but you have to improve. These girls, they don't even go to the gym. Like, these girls, they don't even work out. Like, what do they do for themselves but work a 9 to 5 and come home? You know what I'm saying? And work you know, all their lives to just work for 2 weeks out of the year, 2-3 weeks out of the year. They're not doing nothing. These women are either single or recently divorced. You know what I'm saying? Or divorcees. They themselves. Coming on his platform, asking questions, thinking that, you know, he's gonna sell you a fantasy, and he's not. Yep, he's not. And then honestly, and you only see black people doing this shit. And then this is one of the reasons why, you know, I'm more critical of black people than I am of any other race on this planet. The fact that people are dead ass saying like, oh yeah, good riddance, oh I'm glad he's gone, or you know, he left a shitty legacy. It's like, yo, like my nigga, like regardless if you liked him or not, if you didn't know him personally or he didn't do anything to you personally, like he didn't kill somebody that you knew or whatever, you should not be celebrating or happy about that man dying, you know, before his time. You know, I don't give a fuck what he said. I don't give a fuck what he said, because the types of people anyway that dislike him are simps, fat, out of shape women, or straight feminists, that they know for a fact that they couldn't even have a real ass debate with a man like Kevin Samuels, because it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go. Women these days will try to gaslight you, you know, disrespect you, insult your intelligence, try to front like you don't know any better and shit like that. They couldn't play that shit with Kevin Samuels. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. You know, one of the first videos that I think I seen of him was when he was debating this white girl, I think on the Fit and Fresh podcast. And then every cliche and basic ass, you know, opinion, you know, an argument that she tried to present, it didn't work. It fell flat. It fell flat to the point where she literally walked out the interview, and then came back feeling mad stupid. Yep. Never losing his cool, never getting emotional, never yelling, never none of that. That's how men today should conduct themselves. We need guys like him. And I hate the fact that it's like the necessary guys that, you know, are on the front lines, putting themselves out there, trying to share inside information with the next man. They die. It's like Chadwick Boseman. It's like, you know, our black superhero. He died. The main black superhero, because Falcon, he don't count. Because we all know Falcon is really the sidekick, the number 2 to Captain America. He's not the guy. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have that. You know, Chadwick Boseman, like I said, two years after Black Panther, he died. We're not going to get him in the sequel. When Black Panther 2 comes out, Black freaking Wakanda is going to become an Amazonian country. A straight female-led controlled country. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a sexist, I'm not a chauvinist. I do believe that if women were in charge in this country, you know what I'm saying? If women were all like appointed politicians in this country, except for Kamala Harris, we would be in better shape. You know, real ass black women politicians, not the Kamala Harrises and the I don't even remember that other freaking lady's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, real strong black women that marry, you know, and get involved with strong black men that are married to black men. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, so the fact that he's not here, it's just like, yo, like, I don't know, like it's just so weird to me. Because, you know, Kevin Samuels, he still needs to be here. You know, there was a lot more for him to do. There's a lot more for him to, you know, to share. And, you know, the fact that, like, he just up and died. But this is the thing, though. And this is one of the things that honestly came to my mind. Right? Because I'm pretty sure, you know, Kevin Samuels, you know, obviously, you know, getting to, you know, the point of notoriety that he got to, you know, you come to obviously have, you know, accumulated some sort of wealth for yourself, right? But none of that means anything if you yourself is not healthy. If you're not healthy, then like you can have all the money in the world, but shit, your health is gonna deteriorate at some point. You know, because I heard he fell into cardiac arrest, and I think like one of the last videos I saw, you know, dude was drinking, you know, Red Bulls. You know, when he really should have been drinking water. That's all I'm saying. That's like maybe like my only critique of this guy is that, you know, like you gotta be conscientious of your health. I don't know the exact situation, but health is wealth. You know, sure, like yeah, you want financial gains, you know, monetary wealth and stuff like that, but you also want health of the body, health of the mind. And he had it up here, but he just needed that in his body, and he didn't have it clearly. Because for his mother to still be alive, and then he's not alive right now, I mean, what does that tell you? You know, you know what I'm saying? Because a parent should not be outliving, you know, their children. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know, I don't give a fuck what it is. You know, because, wow, really? Because in my opinion, if it can be prevented, let's prevent it now. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can now. Like, whether it's go to the gym, eat healthier, shit. I even went vegan for 7 months last year. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that you can do every day to build your health up. You know, so I'm not going to really say, you know, whether he was or he wasn't, because, you know, I didn't know the guy personally. But I will say that, you know, maybe if that was the case, he would still be here. Because I hate that it boils down to like these health conditions as to why, you know, some of the guys that we could, you know, aspire to and admire and respect, you know, they're gone because of some sort of ailment, bodily ailment, you know, that may have been prevented or could have been prevented, you know. And it made me sad, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you know, it's pretty sad. Because he's a black man, and, you know, I'm one of the rare, you know, black people out here, you know, except for Chris Rock, because, you know, I don't fucking like him. But, you know, I see myself in other black people. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely want the best for my people. So, you know, to see him go out like that, it's just, I was just like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's dumb luck right there.
You know, because, but we as black people, we need to do better. You know, and I know that won't ever happen, clearly, because, you know, we're the bottom of the barrel, and not only that, but we're the most divided, and that's why we've been conquered, because we're so divided. And then the leaders that we're actually supposed to be getting behind, that are for our own benefit, we hate them. We hate them. Yeah, we hate them. Yeah, we despise the people that actually want the best for us, and then we love the people that don't give a fuck about us. Because a lot of these celebrities that people support don't give a fuck about you. Do they take the time to actually talk to you? It's like, shit, yeah, Kevin Samuels will talk to you, you know what I'm saying, for a fee, but at least you have access. However much, you know, his fee costed. You can't talk to Cardi B. You can't talk to, you know what I'm saying, the Amigos and whoever the fuck else, you know, the average person looks up to. Now you can't talk to Future. You can't talk to Drake. You can't even, you don't have access to these people. And then when you listen to their interviews and you see them talk, do they spread information and try to help you? You know, give free game? It's like Kevin Samuels for men, and even women, that's free game. That's free game to improve yourself. Free game. Not a lot of celebrities do that. That's why I got so mad when I seen people, you know, attacking Will Smith the way that they did. Because I was like, yo, Will Smith was literally been given free game his whole entire career. Like, his book is free game. Free game. Oh, not really free, you know, because you got to pay for it, but still, at least you get access to some information that helped them get to where they got to. You know, because that's all that he wanted. That's all that he wanted, is for women, black women, to be better. Because I've never seen, you know, a Hispanic Latina woman on there. I've never seen a white girl come on Kevin Samuels shit. I've never seen an Asian woman, a Middle Eastern woman come on there. It's all black people. And if he was talking to you a certain way, if he was critiquing you a certain way, it was for your own benefit. It was for your own benefit. It was for your own benefit. Yo, you might have been hurt by it, but hey, you know, sometimes the truth hurts. Yeah, but what you gonna do with it? Yeah, are you gonna sit there and be mad, or are you gonna do something about it? Are you gonna wake up the next day and just decide to make a commitment to yourself? That's all fucking Kevin Samuels was trying to do, was help people be better. Help people be better. The best version that they could possibly be. Cause me, I just look at him, I'm like, yo, he don't let no woman talk to him a certain way. I don't let no fucking woman, nobody talk to me a certain way. Period. Period. Fuck that. Yep, you can go. You know what I'm saying? If you want to catch a little attitude, you can go. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with that shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be out here dating and shit like that. Saying bitches get out of pocket. Get out of pocket. You can go. You can go. Abundance mindset, but you know, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, bruh. I wish he was still here. You know, and I just hate that, you know, his death is just gonna go in vain. And you know, a lot more people, more people than not are happy about him being gone. You know, it's like Tupac. You don't think there's a lot of, you know, rappers that came up when he was coming up that's glad that he's not here? You know, same with Michael Jackson. All he wanted to do was help people. There are a lot of people, you know, like people in certain positions are glad that he's not here. There's a lot of people that's glad that some of the greatest, you know, black figures, you know, in history are not here. Yep, because if they were, they would actually be doing us some good. You know, because like somebody like Dr. Umar Johnson, people don't like him. Like, for the most part, people don't like Dr. Umar Johnson, or they don't take him seriously. You know, Young Pharaoh, a lot of people didn't like him. Yeah, there are a lot of people that liked him, but there were more people that didn't like him. You know, why? Because they viewed him as some sort of extremist, he was racist and all that. It's like, yo, how am I racist when I'm just being for my own people? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, the people that actually mean us well, you know what I'm saying? Like they are pariahs, and they end up dead or just like bottom of the barrel. All our leaders, we always experience some sort of death when it comes to these people in some way, even if it's not literal, but it's also like on a perception level. It's like Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's really gonna walk up and say, oh, you know, Bill Cosby is still my hero after what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like your perception of him, that pedestal that you put him on, is gone. Yep, it's either they die or you can't keep them on the pedestal no more. Or they fall out of like society's good graces. Yep, it's always something. It's always something with us. You know, we need to really like be there for one another and save ourselves. Yeah, because I feel like it's either past that point now and it's already too late, or we're gonna get to that point. You know, either or, but you know, things are not looking good, you know, for us as black people today, right now. And you know, for somebody like Kevin Samuels, you know, to not be here no more, to share, you know, his information and wisdom and knowledge, you know, another one bites the dust. And that's another W for the enemy. And if you're privy, you know who I'm talking about. You know, but it is what it is. You know, those are my thoughts, you know, although unconcise.